In this presentation, we will provide information about 5S. In this content, we will discuss what 5S is, its place in lean manufacturing, and the benefits it provides. Then, we will examine the steps sort, straighten, shine, standardize, and sustain, and evaluate the audit process, implementation steps, and the role of management. The 5S methodology is an approach developed to increase efficiency and ensure order in the workplace. This methodology aims to eliminate unnecessary items in the workplace, place items in an organized manner, keep areas clean, standardize workflows, and encourage continuous improvement. The sort, SARI, step ensures that only necessary items are kept, while the straighten, SEATEN, step ensures that items are placed in a specific order. Shine, SEIZO, both improves the safety of the workplace and protects the health of workers. Standardize, Seiketsu, sets the necessary rules to ensure the sustainability of order in the workplace, and finally, sustain, Ashitsuka, emphasizes that these steps should be constantly improved. While 5S makes business processes more efficient, it also increases employee motivation and strengthens workplace safety. 5S holds an important place in lean manufacturing because it helps make production processes more efficient and safer by ensuring order in the workplace. The 5 basic principles of 5S, SARI, SEATEN, SEIZO, Seiketsu, and Shitsuka, consist of complementary steps to improve workflow. The first principle, SARI or sort, enables the separation of unnecessary materials in the workplace. When unnecessary items are removed, only what is needed remains, which speeds up the production process. The second principle, SEATEN or straighten, ensures that everything is in its proper place. This minimizes time losses and errors. SEIZO or shine is not just about physical cleaning, but is also a critical step for occupational safety. An organized workplace increases safety and boosts employee motivation. These 3 fundamental principles not only improve order in the workplace but also efficiency, error prevention, and occupational safety. Therefore, 5S is of great importance in lean manufacturing and enables businesses to carry out a more effective, efficient, and safe production process. 5S practices increase productivity in the workplace, allowing business processes to proceed more quickly and effectively. This prevents employees from wasting time and allows them to complete their tasks more quickly. In addition, 5S practices offer a great opportunity for early failure detection. Potential problems can be identified and prevented before they become more serious, which helps to reduce costs. Moreover, the reduction in occupational accidents is one of the important benefits of 5S. Creating a safe work environment protects the health of employees and strengthens the company's reputation. These 3 main benefits clearly demonstrate why 5S is a critical practice. Let's focus on the first step of 5S, sort, SARI. This phase starts by separating unnecessary materials in the workplace and ensuring that only necessary items remain in the area. Removing unnecessary materials from the area is a critical step for continuity and quality of work. At the same time, eliminating unused equipment and materials increases workplace efficiency. Here, the goal is to ensure that only needed items are present in the area. Also, employee feedback is important for the success of the process. Through this feedback, we can make more accurate decisions about which materials are truly necessary. Finally, classifying materials based on frequency of use facilitates workflow, increases safety, and helps us use the workforce more effectively. All materials in the workplace must be checked. Sorting out unnecessary materials improves not only physical space but also workflow. Tools and equipment that are unused or rarely needed should be removed from the area, and only materials suitable for the job requirements should remain. This step not only ensures order in the workplace but also enables employees to act more quickly and efficiently. In addition, receiving feedback from employees is an important step in understanding which materials are truly necessary. Employees can help us identify redundant materials by providing insights into the challenges they face in their daily workflow. Finally, separating broken or non-functional materials plays a critical role in occupational safety. Such materials can take up space in the work area and cause accidents. These steps increase efficiency in the workplace while also ensuring safety. In the straighten phase, the goal is to place all materials in the workplace in a specific, logical, and easily accessible manner. After identifying the necessary items in the sorting step, it is decided how to use these materials most efficiently. The basic principle here is the approach of everything should have a place, and everything should be in its place. Materials should be arranged according to frequency of use. Frequently used items should be placed in more accessible locations, and rarely used ones should be positioned farther away. This prevents time loss and allows employees to work with less effort. Practices such as visual management techniques, labeling, and color coding help maintain proper placement. Additionally, employee contribution is very important in this process. A person who organizes their own area is more inclined to maintain that order. In this way, a sustainable and safe working environment can be created. To effectively implement the straighten step, it is important to use some visual tools. The first of these is shadow boards. The designated place for each piece of equipment or hand tool is shown with a shape or shadow drawn on the board. In this way, everything is easily put back in its place after use and missing items are immediately recognized. Labeling systems similarly help maintain order. By labeling materials or shelves, it becomes clear what belongs where, reducing confusion. Another important application is area identification with color codes. By using different colors, areas or material statuses can be quickly distinguished. For example, green indicates items in active use, yellow indicates those pending, and red indicates damaged or in repair materials. These visual systems not only make access easier but also increase employee involvement in the process, contributing to maintaining order. The Shine, Seizo step is not only an aesthetic necessity but also a critical process in terms of failure detection and preventive maintenance. During cleaning, leaks, loose parts, cracks, or wear on equipment surfaces can be easily noticed. In this way, production downtime and occupational accidents are prevented in advance. Cleaning should not be an occasional task but a habit repeated daily. For this, clear cleaning plans should be prepared, task distribution should be made, and everyone's responsibilities should be defined. Also, monitoring cleaning activities with checklists is very useful for maintaining order. A clean workplace not only enhances employee health and safety but also directly affects product quality, contributing to customer satisfaction. Shine, Seizo practices not only keep the workplace clean but also play a critical role in maintaining equipment health and enhancing occupational safety. Cleaning is a control method because with regular cleaning, leaks, loose parts, or potential failures can be detected early. This shortens downtime and prevents costly breakdowns. It is important to clearly define responsibilities in the process. The answers to the questions of who, where, what, and when will clean questions should be determined and the distribution of tasks should be ensured with the participation of everyone. Additionally, tracking cleaning activities with checklists increases the quality of the work done and reveals continuous improvement opportunities. All these steps ensure that cleaning is adopted and sustained as a daily habit. Standardization is the building block that ensures the permanence of the previous 5S steps. The most important goal of this phase is to make practices such as cleaning, order, and sorting a part of the daily routine. Therefore, visual instructions, checklists, and standard work definitions should ensure that everyone acts the same way. Quickly detecting a non-standard situation shortens response time and guarantees system continuity. At this stage, training should be conducted regularly, inspections should not be delayed, and everyone should act with a sense of responsibility. Without management support, it is not possible to maintain this order. Likewise, the active participation of employees in the process is the key to sustainability. Standardization means not only preserving order but also fostering a culture of improvement. The standardization phase is indispensable for ensuring the permanence of 5S. The aim of this step is to make practices such as cleaning, order, and sorting a part of daily operations. For this, we must first benefit from visual tools. With labels, color codes, and visual instructions, everyone can easily understand and apply the process in the same way. In addition, clearly defining tasks and responsibilities is important. Who will do what, when, and how? Clear answers to these questions increase the stability of the implementation. Furthermore, for standardization to be sustainable, regular audits are essential. These inspections conducted with checklists allow us to detect deviations early. Sustain, Embrace aims to make 5S permanent and adopted as a habit. At this stage, it is very important to show a disciplined approach both individually and as a team. The rules must not only be applied but also internalized. Therefore, practices based on volunteerism and reward systems that motivate employees make a great contribution. The active participation of leaders in the process and setting an example of leaders strengthen sustainability. At the same time, supporting the culture of continuous improvement is one of the main pillars of this stage. The sustainability and performance evaluation of 5S practices are of great importance for the permanence of the system. At this point, periodic audits and scoring systems come into play. Audits carried out at regular intervals allow us to see the current situation and identify deficiencies in time. In addition, reporting development areas and collecting feedback are essential parts of the process. These steps make a great contribution to clearly identifying which areas need improvement. Moreover, forming volunteer 5S teams ensures the active participation of employees in the process. These teams provide valuable data with their observations in the field and keep the system alive with improvement ideas. Implementing the first 4 steps of 5S is relatively easy. Sort, straighten, shine, and standardize. Once these are done, they make a big difference. But the real challenge begins with the sustain step. That is, maintaining this order and discipline every day, in every shift, with every employee. So how will we ensure this? First, leadership must set an example. If managers do not value 5S, neither will employees. Second, we must use visual management tools. Labels, color codes, 5S boards. These tools invite us to 5S every day. Third, an audit and feedback system should be established. Periodic 5S audits should be carried out. However, the purpose of audits should be development, not punishment. Also, reward mechanisms support sustainability. Good practices should be appreciated and shared. And finally, continuous training is very important. Even new starters, interns, and even subcontractors should be told about 5S. They should become part of this culture. Let's not forget, 5S should not be a project, it should be a habit. And those who sustain this habit are teams that work together and support each other. There are a few critical steps to consider when starting the 5S implementation process. First, the support and commitment of executive management must be ensured. Management plays a decisive role in the success of the process, because employees will only take the 5S practices seriously if they see consistent and determined support from management. Secondly, raising awareness among employees through 5S training is crucial. These trainings inform all employees about the basic principles and benefits of 5S, ensuring that the process is understood by everyone. Creating awareness lays the foundation for the successful establishment of the process. Lastly, the process should begin with the selection of a pilot field. This means the 5S practices to be tested in a specific area and then monitoring progress in that area. A pilot field makes it possible to evaluate effectiveness of the process and make improvements if necessary. Keep in mind that these steps are critical for the successful implementation of 5S practices. At the heart of successful 5S practices is strong support from management and leadership. First, it is important for leaders to set an example. By demonstrating order, shine, and discipline through their own actions, leaders show their teams the significance of 5S practices. The steps taken by leaders serve as a guide for employees, and team members follow these steps. Secondly, management must provide the necessary resources for 5S practices. These resources may include time, budget, and material support. Proper allocation of these resources is critical for the process to proceed effectively. Providing teams with the support they need boosts motivation and leads to success. Lastly, open communication and the celebration of successes are vital for sustainability. Management should emphasize the importance of 5S practices by constantly informing employees. Additionally, achievements should be appreciated and celebrated. Such incentives increase employee motivation and ensure the continuity of the process. Remember, 5S is not a project but a way of life, therefore, it should be applied continuously and with discipline. Five S practices play a critical role in contributing to sustainable success. First, it is important to emphasize that 5S should be adopted not as a project, but as a way of life. This approach ensures that employees are constantly monitoring the processes and looking for opportunities for improvement. Constant monitoring and improvement of processes is also essential. Training, auditing, feedback, and leadership are indispensable elements for the successful implementation of 5S. These elements both increase the effectiveness of the processes and strengthen the sense of commitment within the team. Finally, we must remember that each individual's contribution to the process is important. This ensures active participation from all team members and fosters a stronger sense of ownership. 5S is one of the cornerstones of lean production, and these practices provide a solid foundation for other improvement efforts as well. Thank you for attending our training. If you have any questions, please